Hey everyone, and welcome back to SeMoJo Homestead. Today I am cleaning this thing out. Last week we had really high temperatures while we were out of town. Like we were pushing 80 degrees. I think a couple of days actually got up to 80 degrees. So all this lettuce, it had already started trying to bolt, but it definitely bolted while we were gone. And that was anticipated. I figured it would do that. When lettuce bolts, it gets really bitter. You can still eat it, but the flavor just really goes downhill. So I'm going to be pulling this stuff out so that we can plant the next crop in here. I don't really know what we're gonna plant. I think we're probably just gonna do more lettuce, but do it from seed this time. All of these plants were from actual plants, like starts. So we got a really quick turnaround on those, and that's why we decided to do it. Today, I figured while I'm doing this, I would talk about where our name came from, SeMoJo Homestead. For us, we believe that there's a lot of meaning in names. So names have always been really important to us. Our kids' names were named, one, we liked them, but two, because of the meaning. We really looked at what they meant, and we wanted to name them basically kind of like their destiny. So what I mean by that is if we call someone something, they're eventually going to become that or believe that. So if like I call my wife beloved or beautiful, and I call her that constantly over and over again, she's gonna know without a shadow of a doubt and believe that I love her and that she is beautiful. So names are the same way. Even though we may not know the full meaning of our name, being called our name over and over throughout our life does, I believe, begin to infiltrate that meaning. So for us, we named our kids names that have biblical meanings. So Selah means stop and worship. That's the best translation anyway that they've been able to come up with. Stop and worship, or pause and reflect on the Lord. And it's been really cool to see how she has done that, and that has really become a desire and a passion of hers, is to worship, and that's really cool. Moriah means God is my teacher, and she really does love scripture, like getting into the word, knowing more about it. She's very inquisitive when it comes to just understanding things of the Spirit or of the Lord. Josiah is another one of those names that kind of has a loose meaning of several different things. It's or the fire of God. There's another one that we tend to lean towards. It's God is my healer. And, you know, we're still kind of waiting to see that in him and how that's going to play out in his life. But it is a really strong and significant name with a pretty strong meaning. So, what does all that have to do with the name of our homestead? Well, when we first started homesteading, we really wanted it to be a ministry, and we still believe that it is a form of ministry for us. And so when we bought this property out here 7 years ago, and then we built 3 years ago, we were really praying through what the Lord wanted us to do with it and how he wanted to use it. And we really believed that he was calling us to create a place that was almost a retreat place of sorts for people. Now that doesn't mean like formalized weekend long retreats or anything like that, but just a place where people could come and feel like they were away from stress of the world, from jobs, from maybe just life struggles. And really, as we prayed through it, felt like we wanted it to be a place where people could come and learn, where people could come really encounter the Lord and even have emotional and maybe physical healing out here. As we kind of started thinking about that, we were like, well, wait a second, that's our kids' names. You know, that's what each one means. And so that was sort of where SeMoJo came from. It's the first part of all of our kids' names. And so it's just that reminder of the Lord is placed this, and we really truly believe the Lord's given us this homestead for that ministry's sake, for almost a holistic type experience when people come over. And it doesn't, again, have to be like a formalized thing. It's just when we have friends over or guests over, our our prayer, our dream is that when they are just on this property, they feel something different, and it's a place of comfort where they can let down their guards and allow healing to take place, allow spiritual encounters to happen, and really just a place to learn, and not just necessarily homesteading learn, but learn life things, learn spiritual things. We are Christians, and that is the way we live our life. And it's been really cool to see how the Lord has done that, even when we weren't necessarily prepared in the moment, or going into a time with friends where we expected that, but where that just sort of happens out here. So that's really cool to see how that's being used. I'm excited to see how it continues to be used. But yeah, that's our name, and that's where it came from. We've kind of hinted and mentioned and thrown it out there in some other videos in the past, but we have never really sat down and talked about where that came from. So that's the origin of the name. Selah, Moriah, Josiah. Pause and reflect. God is our teacher. God heals. And that's it right there. That sums up what we're doing. That sums up really the foundation of why we're doing all of this. And then everything else is built on that. So hope you have a great week. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to give this video a like. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Also, if you have not done so, hit that bell down there. What that does, if you do not know, is it notifies you every time we put a video out. We are back on kind of our normal routine. So we should be back on schedule to be getting 2 videos a week out, and then a weekend video every single week. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm gonna go get all of these lettuce scraps to the rabbits. You guys have a great week and be blessed.